We plant seedlings in our gardens for several different reasons. First of all, they give us a head start on the season. So around springtime, when the weather's still warming up, we're sowing seeds indoors to grow things like tomatoes, melons, zucchinis onto a point where they are ready to go into the garden as soon as the weather warms up. Other plants don't really like to go straight into garden soil in case the conditions aren't perfect. Things like peas and beans quite often will rot off if it's too damp. So we sow them indoors so that we can control the growing conditions so that they're perfect. And then things like lettuces, flowers that are particularly fodder for slugs and snails. We sow them indoors so we can plant them out when they're a little bit bigger and they're more able to withstand a bit of a nibble overnight. So there's different stages of sowing seeds indoors. You can start off with a tray. So this tray's got a lot of different cells in it, and these are filled up with a seed planting mix. Now you can see that this has got lots of fine particles to it. It's going to drain really well. It's also going to allow delicate roots to get through it. Alternatively, you can use these pots. Now these are biodegradable pots. What's great about these is that once your seedling has grown to the right size, you just pop them straight into the garden. You don't have to try and squeeze the seedling out and worry about damaging the roots. So you're just going to fill your cells up to the right level. And some seeds we soak overnight, like I've got some tomato seeds here. Some seeds we soak for a couple of hours. The reason why you soak seeds is it gets the germination process going. Sometimes if you put them into dry compost, they're not going to get going. So we soak them to get things started. And a tip is that whenever you're planting a couple of seedlings in a tray or a punnet, make sure you do 2 or 3 per cell. And then once they start growing, you can select the strongest one and pinch the other one out. So things like tomato seeds, again, you just got to read the packet in terms of depth and spacing, but they don't need to go too far beneath the surface. These beans have been soaking overnight now, and they've started to swell up a little bit. So they just go straight into the soil and you press them down like that. Again, you can put 2 per punnet if you want, and then you can select the stronger of the 2. So the only thing we need to do now is give these seedlings some water, and we really want it to rain. We don't want a deluge. Don't hold your watering can down here because quite often you get an initial jet. So get your watering can quite high up and let it rain.